Zara walked quickly down the crowded street. The sun was setting, but the city was still noisy and busy. She pulled her thin jacket closer around her body. The wind was cold and she had no home to go to. For Zara, every day was a fight to survive. She had no family, no money, and no place to call her own. She stopped near a small corner shop to rest for a moment. Her shoes were old and worn out. Her face was tired and her eyes looked sad. People passed by without noticing her. To them, she was just another face in the crowd, a poor street girl with no future. Zara thought about the food she had eaten today. It was only a small piece of bread and some water. Tomorrow she hoped she would find more, but she didn't know how long she could keep living like this. Every night she feared what the next day would bring. Suddenly a black luxury car stopped near her. The windows rolled down slowly and a man stepped out. He was tall, well-dressed, and carried an air of confidence. This was Armin, a proud billionaire known for his wealth and power. Armin looked at Zara. He saw the dirt on her clothes and the sadness in her eyes. But he also saw something else, a quiet strength, a fire that did not burn out. He walked towards her slowly, causing a small crowd to gather and watch. "Hey girl," Armin said loudly, making sure everyone could hear. "I have a proposal for you." Zara looked up, confused and scared. Why was this rich man talking to her? She wanted to run, but her legs felt frozen. People around whispered and stared. Armand smiled and pulled out a thick envelope. "Marry me. I will give you $30 million. The street fell silent. Zara's heart pounded. $30 million. It was more money than she had ever dreamed of. But why would a man like him want to marry someone like her? What was the catch? She looked at Armin carefully. His face was serious. Not a joke, not a game. I don't understand," Zara whispered. "Why me?" Armand's eyes darkened. "Because I want someone real. Someone who doesn't care about my money. Someone who is not afraid to stand up to me." Zara took a step back. She had heard stories about billionaires before. They were proud, rude, and full of themselves. She wasn't sure if she could trust him, but at the same time she was curious. This offer could change her life forever. No more cold nights, no more hunger. But was it worth giving up everything she knew? The crowd around them grew bigger. Phones appeared. People whispered and recorded. Zara felt exposed and scared. She looked around, hoping for help. But no one came. Armin spoke again, his voice calm but strong. "You don't have to answer now. Think carefully. But I warn you, this offer will not last forever." Zara's mind raced. Could she really say yes to this stranger? Could she risk everything for a chance at a new life? She wanted to ask questions. What about love? What about freedom? But her throat was dry. As Armin turned and walked back to his car, Zara watched him carefully. Was he truly proud and arrogant, as people said? Or was there something more hidden behind his cold eyes? The car drove away, leaving Zara alone with her thoughts. She sat on the cold pavement, feeling the weight of the decision on her shoulders. Hours passed, and the city lights flickered. Zara's heart still raced. Should she accept the offer and step into a world she never knew? Or should she walk away and stay with the life she knew? Hard but free. Her eyes filled with tears as she looked up at the sky. The night was long and silent. Zara whispered to herself, "What should I do?" The story ended there for now. What choice will she make? Will the proud billionaire's offer bring hope or more pain? The answer was waiting in the darkness. The morning sun rose slowly over the city. Zara woke up on a park bench, her body aching from the cold night. She thought about the offer from the billionaire Armin. $30 million, marry him. It seemed like a dream, but also a trap. Could she trust him? Or was it just another way to be used? She didn't want to be a prize or a business deal. She wanted respect. She wanted to live life on her own terms. But the truth was she was tired, so tired of struggling. Maybe this was a chance, maybe her only chance. Zara got up, her mind filled with questions. She walked slowly to a small cafe she often visited. Her hands shook as she held her cup of tea. Her thoughts were loud. Should I say yes? Or run far away? What if I lose everything? Meanwhile, Arman was already busy. His office was full of luxury and silence. He sat behind a large desk, staring at his phone. His mind was not on his business deals today. It was on Zara. He remembered how she looked, strong yet scared. How she refused to run from his offer. That had surprised him. Most people would have taken the money without a second thought. But not Zara. Arman made a decision. He would meet her again. Not as a rich man making an offer, but as a person trying to understand. That afternoon, Zara was walking down the street when a black car stopped beside her again. The window rolled down, and Arman's calm voice came out. Zara, will you meet me? Just for a talk. Zara hesitated, but curiosity and fear pulled her forward. She nodded and got inside. The car drove to a quiet restaurant. The place was fancy but not too loud. Arman looked at Zara with serious eyes. I want to be clear, he said. This is not just about money. I want a partner who can stand beside me, someone honest, strong, and real. Zara looked down. She was not used to people speaking like this to her. I don't want to be bought, she said softly. If I say yes, it's because I want a new life, not because of your money. Arman smiled, a little surprised. I respect that, he said. They talked for hours. Zara asked many questions about his life, about what he expected. Arman listened carefully. He didn't want to scare her. Then Zara made her own rules. She wanted to keep her freedom. She would not live like a puppet. She would have her own space, her own friends, and no one could control her. Arman agreed. This deal is different, he said. It's not about power, it's about respect. Days passed quickly. Zara started to prepare for the wedding. She bought a simple dress, not a rich woman's gown. It was a symbol. She was still herself. On the wedding day, Zara stood in front of a mirror. She felt nervous but strong. Arman was waiting at the church, looking proud and serious. When Zara walked down the aisle, the guests whispered, Who was this girl? Why would a billionaire marry her? Arman looked at her and smiled softly. For the first time, his eyes showed warmth, not just pride. They said their vows. The words felt strange but true. That night, as Zara sat alone in the big mansion, she felt out of place. The silence was loud, the walls were cold. This was not the street where she had lived. It was a different world. Suddenly, a letter slipped. Under her door, she picked it up, her hands trembling. The letter had no name, only words. You don't belong here. Stay away or you will regret it. Zara's heart stopped. Who had sent this? Why did they want to hurt her? She looked out the window at the dark city. Her new life was beginning, but the danger was close. The morning sun cast soft light through the large windows of the mansion. Zara sat on the edge of the bed, clutching the mysterious letter tightly. Her heart was heavy with fear and questions. Who had sent the threatening message? What danger was waiting for her in this new world? Arman entered the room quietly. He noticed the letter in her hands and the worry in her eyes. He sat beside her and spoke gently. Zara, tell me what's wrong. Zara hesitated. She had kept her past hidden for so long, but now she felt that maybe she could trust Arman. She took a deep breath and began to speak, her voice shaking. Before I came here, my life was not safe. I have people who want to hurt me, people from my past. They believe I have something. That belongs to them. Arman listened carefully, his face growing serious. What do you mean? What do they want? Zara looked down, struggling to find the words. It's a long story. My family betrayed me. I escaped, but they still want to find me. That's why I lived on the streets. To hide. Arman felt a new feeling, protectiveness mixed with respect. He reached out and took her hand. You don't have to face this alone anymore. I will help you, I promise. Zara looked at him, unsure if she could believe these words, but deep inside she hoped it was true. Days passed, and the tension in the mansion grew. Strange phone calls, unknown visitors, and shadowy figures appeared nearby. Zara stayed close to Armin, but the fear never left her. One evening as they sat in the living room, Armin's phone buzzed. He read the message, and his face turned pale. "It's a warning," he said. "They are coming closer." Zara's eyes filled with tears. She felt trapped between two worlds, the safety of wealth and the danger of her past. Armin stood up, determination shining in his eyes. "We will find out who is behind this. No one will hurt you." The next day, Armin called his most trusted security team. They began investigating the threats, but the more they dug, the more questions arose. Who were these people? Why were they so determined to find Zara? Meanwhile, Zara tried to live normally. She wanted to learn about Armin's world. She met his friends and attended social events, but she felt like an outsider, watched and judged. One night, after a party, Zara found a hidden envelope in her handbag. Inside was an old photograph of her as a child with a man she did not recognize. The note said, "We know who you are. You can't hide." Zara's blood ran cold. Her past was catching up no matter where she ran. She showed the photo to Armin. He frowned deeply. "This is serious. We need to find out who sent this." That night, Zara lay awake, thinking about her life. She remembered the pain, the loss, and the fear, but she also remembered her courage, the strength that brought her here. She whispered to herself, "I will not run anymore. I will fight." The next morning, Zara told Armin, "I want to face this, but I need your trust." Armin nodded. "You have it. Together we are stronger." Their bond grew deeper, not just as a deal or marriage, but as two people fighting against the darkness. But danger was not far away. One shadowy figure watched the mansion from a distance. Their eyes were cold and full of hate. They made a call. She won't escape this time. The game had only just begun. The days after the threatening photo arrived were tense. Zara and Armin's world changed. The mansion felt less like a safe home and more like a fortress. Guards patrolled every corner. Cameras watched every step Zara took. Still, the fear grew inside her. One afternoon, Zara was walking through the grand hallway when she noticed a strange man watching her from behind a door. His eyes were cold and hard. She didn't know who he was, but something felt wrong. Zara quickly turned away and hurried to find Armin. When she told him about the man, Armin's face tightened with worry. "We need to find out who he is," Armin said firmly. "No one will hurt you while I'm here." Meanwhile, the man slipped quietly through the mansion's halls. He was careful not to be seen, but he was close. His mission was clear: find Zara's secret and use it to destroy her. Back in the mansion, Armin called his team for a meeting. "Someone inside is helping our enemies," he said. "We have a spy." Zara felt her heart sink. How could anyone betray them now? Armin's security chief, a sharp woman named Lila, spoke up. "I will find the spy. No one escapes my watch." Days passed with little rest. Lila watched everyone closely: staff, friends, even Armin's closest allies. But the spy was clever, leaving no trace. One night, Zara overheard a secret conversation. She was near the study when she heard whispers. "Tomorrow night is the perfect time," a voice said. "She will be alone." Zara's breath caught. She recognized the voice. It was the stranger she had seen in the hallway. That night, Zara felt uneasy. She stayed close to Armin, but the fear was there. They both knew something bad was coming. Suddenly, the lights in the mansion went out. Darkness filled the rooms. Alarms blared loudly. "Get to safety," Armin shouted. Zara grabbed his hand, her heart pounding. Outside, shadows moved quickly. The spy was inside the mansion. The guards fought bravely, but the enemy was skilled. The spy slipped past them and headed straight for Zara's room. Armin reached her just in time. He blocked the door as the spy tried to break in. "Who sent you?" Armin demanded. The spy laughed coldly. "You don't know the half of it." Before they could react, the spy pulled out a small device and pressed a button. The room shook as a loud explosion echoed. Smoke filled the hallway. Guards rushed in, fighting to control the chaos. Zara coughed, her eyes watering. She looked at Arman, fear and anger mixed in her gaze. Arman's voice was steady. "We will find them, and when we do, they will pay." Zara nodded, feeling a new fire inside her. She was not just a victim anymore. She was ready to fight for her life and for her future. Outside the mansion, the shadowy figure watched the destruction with a cold smile. "This is only the beginning," they whispered. It started. The morning after the explosion, the mansion was quiet but tense. Zara sat on a chair, her hands trembling slightly. The chaos of the night still felt fresh. She looked at Arman, who was busy talking to his security team. "Who could want to hurt me so badly?" Zara whispered to herself. Arman walked over, his face serious but calm. "We are getting closer to the truth," he said. "Lila found something important." Zara looked up, hope rising inside her. Lila entered the room with a folder full of papers. "We tracked the spy," she began. "And it's worse than we thought. The enemy is someone very close to us." Zara's heart stopped. Someone in Arman's world was helping their enemies? Arman nodded slowly. "We have a name, David. He's one of my business partners." Zara's eyes widened. David, Arman's trusted partner? How could he betray them? That day, Arman called David for a meeting. The tension was thick in the air. David entered with a calm smile, but Arman's cold eyes told a different story. "We know what you've done," Arman said firmly. "You've been helping people who want to hurt Zara." David laughed softly. "You think you know everything, Arman? This is bigger than you. You have no idea what she's hiding." Zara's heart pounded. What was David talking about? David leaned in, his voice low. "She's not just a street girl. She comes from a powerful family. A family with secrets that could ruin your empire." Zara's face turned pale. Was this true? After the meeting, Zara stayed silent. Her mind raced. She had never told Arman the whole truth about her past. Not because she wanted to hide it, but because she was scared. Now she had no choice. She sat with Arman and told him everything. About her family, about the danger and the secret she had kept for so long. A secret that could destroy many lives. Arman listened carefully, never interrupting. When she finished, he took her hand. "We will face this together," he said. No matter what. That night, Zara received another message. This time, it was different. "The past is coming back. Are you ready to fight?" She looked out at the dark sky, feeling the weight of the future. Arman stood behind her, strong and silent. "We will protect you," he promised. But in the shadows, David was not done. He made a call. "Prepare the next move. She won't escape." The truth. The game was getting more dangerous. The days after the truth came out were filled with fear and determination. Zara and Arman knew they had little time. Their enemies were closer than ever, and the danger was real. Zara tried to stay strong, but every shadow made her jump. Every phone call made her heart race. She felt like her past was chasing her faster than she could run. One morning, Arman sat with Zara in the quiet garden. "We have to fight back," he said. "Running won't save you." Zara looked at him, eyes full of both fear and hope. "But how?" "They are powerful." Arman smiled slightly. "We have something they don't. Trust and courage." That night, Arman gathered his closest friends and team. They planned, carefully. Guards were doubled, security cameras added, and secret exits prepared. Zara learned how to defend herself too. She practiced with Arman's bodyguard, a patient man named Samir. Slowly, she grew stronger. One evening, as Zara practiced, she saw a figure outside the garden wall. Her heart stopped. It was one of the enemy's spies. She called Samir quietly. Together, they followed the spy into the dark. The spy led them to an old warehouse on the edge of the city. Inside, shadows moved quickly. Zara's stomach tightened. This was the enemy's base. Suddenly, alarms went off. Guards surrounded them. Zara's heart pounded like a drum. But just then, Arman and his team arrived. A fierce fight began. Zara stayed behind, watching as her new family fought to protect her. After the fight, Armand found a secret box in the warehouse. Inside were documents and photos, proof of the enemy's plans. Zara took a deep breath. This was the moment she had been waiting for. "We can stop them now," she said. Armand nodded. Together. The next day, Armand called a press conference. He revealed the truth about the threats and the people behind them. The world watched as Zara stood beside him, strong and proud. The enemy's power began to crumble, but Zara knew the battle was not over. That night, as Zara and Armand looked at the stars, she whispered, "Thank you for believing in me." Armand smiled. "You never had to fight alone." They held each other tightly, ready for whatever came next. The sun rose gently over the city, shining through the large windows of the mansion. After weeks of fear, fights, and secrets, Zara and Armand finally felt a moment of peace. Zara sat on the balcony, breathing in the fresh morning air. She looked at Armand, who was watching the city below with a calm smile. For the first time in a long time, she felt safe. The battle was over. The enemies had been caught, and their plans exposed. David and his allies were arrested, facing justice for their crimes. But the most important victory was the one inside Zara's heart. She had faced her past, stood strong against danger, and found trust and love in a world she never imagined. Armand walked over and took her hand. "You changed everything," he said softly. "Not just for me, but for yourself." Zara smiled, tears in her eyes. "I never thought I could be this brave, but you believed in me." They spent the day together, sharing stories, laughter, and dreams. Zara began to see a future she could hope for, a life beyond fear and survival. Yet even in this moment of calm, a small part of her wondered what challenges might come next. Life with Armand was new and unknown, but she was ready. That evening, as the sun set in fiery colors, Zara received a message. It was simple. "This is just the beginning." Her heart skipped a beat, but this time she didn't feel afraid. She looked at Armand, who squeezed her hand reassuringly. "We face it all together," he said. Zara nodded. Together. The camera zoomed out from the mansion, showing the city lights sparkling below. A new chapter was about to begin, full of hope, love, and endless possibilities. The proud billionaire and the street girl had changed each other's lives forever.